Welcome to Outside Michigan. I'm Russ Martin, and maybe you can see around me here, maybe not. We're getting our first big snowstorm of the season here in extreme southern Michigan. 6 to 8 inches possibly today, tonight, and early tomorrow. And with that in mind, I've planned an outing for this weekend, so I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about a couple of things. I'm going to do a series here on a couple of items that I like to have with me. Some of them are basic that everybody wants to have with them, and some are things that are sort of a preference. And I'm going to start out in this first video. I'm going to talk about my knives, so stay tuned. Anybody that's into bushcraft or wilderness survival, any of that, knows that the knife is the most basic tool and the most important tool that you're going to take into the woods with you, whether it's winter, summer, spring, or fall. A knife is hard to fake. You know, you can improvise a lot of things, shelter being among those things, but a knife is tough to fake. And I usually carry three. In fact, almost always carry the same three knives into the woods. This is a KaBar Johnson Adventure blade. It's a effort from the two outfits. It's called the Bacon Maker. I got a review of this from last winter, an outing, the first time I took this out on my channel, and it's kind of crappy. I did it on my cell phone, so probably going to take that one down and just kind of re-review right here. This is a great knife. It's big. If you're not into big knives, that blade is a good 7 inches long, I think. If you're not into big knives, you can get away with, with half that blade and do plenty with it. I like this because it does away with the need for a chopping instrument for some of the smaller stuff. Now, I usually carry an axe out with me because I like to take down some big trees and have plenty of thick firewood to kind of burn through the night. But as far as taking down smaller things, building a shelter, this thing serves as a hatchet. It's razor sharp. It's easy to get sharp. Blade's a little tarnished right now, but that'll change when I put this through the sharpener before I head out this weekend. And it's really a comfortable knife to carry. Full tang, just about indestructible. That blade's 1/8 of an inch thick right there, and the tang all the way up through there. Nothing really special about it. I mean, it doesn't have any extra doodads or anything, but it is a really good, solid knife. High carbon blade, coated, and it's served me very well over the last year. From camping and hiking out locally here on state land. I took it through the Alleghenies, down the Pine River. It's been with me through all of that and has not let me down. And price-wise, I don't know the exact amount that my wife paid for this. She got it for Christmas in 2011 for me, but it seems like it's for the price. It's a very good knife. She told me it was less than $100. I bet it was probably quite a bit less than that. But now this knife, the Johnson Adventure blades, and they make another one that's called the Potbelly, which has got a wider blade, shorter, I believe, and wider. But both of them come with this sheath, which has a pouch for extras, and they come with this blade right here, this pack blade. I forget what they call it. It's got a name, but that right there is a great little knife for skinning. Stainless steel, made in China. It's not quite as nice as the Bacon Maker, which is made right here in the USA, but it's got that handhold right there, and it's a good knife for skinning. Like if you're working on small game, a lot of times I'll use this for cutting my paracord when I'm building the shelter, and it really comes in handy for some of the smaller jobs where the bigger knife or the Bacon Maker might be a bit cumbersome. This one really comes in handy. If I had to choose one knife to go into the woods with, it would be this one. But as long as I've got this knife piggybacked on there, that's what it's called, a piggyback knife, I'm all set. And then I carry one more just because it has sentimental value to me. That is a Case Sodbuster Jr. Now, I tried to find a regular Sodbuster, the full size, because that's what my grandpa carried for as long as I can remember. When he died, the blade on that knife was quite a bit wider and longer than this. It's a full size, same shape but bigger. But when he died, the blade on that knife was maybe 3/8 of an inch thick. He had used it so much and sharpened it so much that it really, he got his use out of it, and he carried it probably for 35, 40 years. And it was a great knife, and it had some sentimental value. Not sure what happened to it when he passed away. Probably went to my uncle, I would imagine, which is where it should go. But I found this at Lowe's home improvement store, 20 bucks. It's razor sharp, easy to sharpen, stays sharp, and it really is a great pocket knife. And if I had to just use one knife, I could get away with this one. I don't like the fact that it's not a lock blade, but you know, you could get a lot of use out of that knife right there. Get a lot done with it. Now, one of the other things I like about the KaBar is this pouch right here, and this one needs replenished, but you can essentially carry the 5 C's in some form or another right here in this pouch. And again, I'm not, you know, like my mission statement says on my channel, I'm not really a survivalist. I like to think that I could survive. I think that survival comes down to having really good, keen skills in the woods, being good at, and not being afraid of being in the woods. I've been lost before. I've been in situations. I tipped over a kayak and found myself possibly stranded in a gorge for a while. What ended up happening is my buddy Dave happened to figure out that I wasn't behind him anymore, and we got out. I lost my paddle. But I've been in those situations. If you don't panic, you know, and you've got a few basic tools, you know, that's survival, if you ask me. And that's what I think survival is about. Not really a survivalist, but I think that if you're going to go into the woods, you ought to have some skills. But now what I've got in here is basic stuff. Ferro rod still works. It's broken. Got dropped in the rocks and it's broken, but it still works. I'm going to replace that. So I got my combustion, and I need to replace the my cotton balls with wax in there, which I usually carry a small plastic baggie, a double baggie, so it doesn't get ripped and get wet. But I usually carry that in there. I've got cover right here, space blanket. Cordage, I've got a little bit left. I stuffed it into here. Typically what I do before I head out, I'll get more cordage and I wrap it through here and then through these holes, and then I'll go around and I can get 75, 80, maybe even 100 feet if I wanted to of cordage on there, and it'll only stick up about that much. And this sheath is so big, you know, it's actually a nice way to carry cordage. It's a pain in the butt to take it off, but it's a nice way to carry it so that it's there if ever I get in a situation. I like to think that, you know, when I've got this properly stocked, which I don't at the moment, before I head out Friday I will. When I've got this properly stocked, if I were to step away from camp without my backpack and get lost and be out for a night, I could get by with what I can carry in here. I even carry often a little bit of a square of aluminum foil that can be folded into a container if you need it. So you've got cordage, cutting, cover, combustion, and with the aluminum foil there's a container. I wouldn't want to try to live very long that way, but it's enough to get the job done. And those are my knives. In the next video, I'll take a look at my fire kit. Thanks for watching.